Candace Owens. She is like a dog with a bone right now when it comes to Erika Kirk.
Candace Owens just dropped a trailer announcing her multi-part investigative series on Erika Kirk, the wife of Charlie Kirk, and let me tell you.
So if you did not catch the second episode of Candace Owens' series, Bride of Charlie, about Miss Erika Kirk, I took notes, so I have a recap for you. You ready? All right, let's go.
So Erika Kirk apparently had told one of her ex-boyfriends that she saw
another creator got banned on this app for posting about this, and fuck it, I've gotten banned so many times on here too. So let's just talk about shit that's gonna get you banned, because
Erika Kirk was written out of Charlie Kirk's will days before he lost his father.
And the Best Bad Acting Award goes to Erika Kirk. I did the signature look up, look sad with no tears actually coming down my face. Honestly, this is just bad acting at this point.
I received an email from Erika Kirk's aunt. Her name is Carla Franzvi Solomon.
Erika Kirk has been named the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead.
It's weird to say excited.
Describes her husband's funeral as the event of the century.
Nobody knows.
Candace Owens said, if I'm lying, sue me. Why are you not suing, Erika?
I think the Erika Kirk and Candace Owens situation is really interesting.
Dude, we got 36,000 people in here watching. Look at this. Look at my chat. Look at my chat versus Candace Owens's.
We have proof coming out that Erika Kirk is allegedly a man. This video is recirculating and going viral of Erika Kirk. I want you to take a look at this and see exactly what she says.
Erika Kirk has a demon tattoo symbol on her arm.
So many people, a lot of even large creators, are now collectively calling Candace Owens a demon. A demon. Right on the cusp of her release of her expose, The Bride of Charlie, about Erika Kirk. In fact, some are going as far to say that if you watch Candace Owens, then you are a demon too.
Finally, Candace is talking about Erika Kirk in Romania. Oh my gosh. And there's something going on between her and Andrew Colvett. I know it. I saw it early on.
The reason why you don't like Erika Kirk, or when you look at her, you go, something's not quite right here, is because Erika Kirk has sociopathic tendencies. And I can't diagnose her as a sociopath. I'm not a mental health professional. I'm actually just an accountant. But my father's a sociopath.
Candace Owens has went off the deep end, and the things that she is accusing Erika Kirk of are absolutely disgusting.
Candace Owens. She is like a dog with a bone right now when it comes to Erika Kirk, and I am loving every part of it. I know Candace has some controversy around her and has for years, but I really do like who she's becoming. She's opening up her eyes. She is starting to critically think about some of the feelings and thoughts and views that she's had on things before. And she's not just going with the program. Like, she's really coming into her own, using her own mind, her own deductive theories to figure out what's going on. And now she has this new Erika Kirk Bride of Charlie thing going, and I am fully invested. So you go, Candace girl, I will be watching.
This trailer is not a takedown. It is a masterclass in how to stoke conservative moral panic. Candace Owens just dropped a trailer announcing her multi-part investigative series on Erika Kirk, the wife of Charlie Kirk, and let me tell you, Candace Owens hits the big three when it comes to moral panic. 1, the bad wife. 2, children. 3, gay. The main refrain throughout this is what a bad wife. Not only is she having fireworks and stepping out of her role, she is also a greedy wife. She is disingenuous and never cared. And then on top of that, which is also a very interesting choice, is Candace is never the narrative voice. And I know this is just the trailer, but she uses angry male commentators who are enacting this critique of Erika stepping out of her place. Because who better to shame a woman for not being a good wife than other conservative men? Number 2, harm of children. We have the whole Romania business nonsense, which oh my God, that's going to be really interesting to get into. But child trafficking is a really big thing for evangelicals. People will be like, isn't everyone against that? And it's like, no, especially in conservative evangelical communities, is the thing that they can latch on and advocate for. It is very specific that she's choosing to focus on that. And then the third, gay. She said, you're a bad wife, you're an evil woman to children, and you're gay? I mean, she just props to Candace, man. I mean, what a political, evil, terrifying genius. She really hit the big three. Her being gay wouldn't have been enough. Her being gay and grooming and being terrible to other international children. Conservatives love an international child unless they're trying to come into the country. But she's also a disingenuous wife, and she's trying to make money off of it, and a woman can't be making money. Ultimately, Candace is having a grifter off with Erika, and it is very smart of her to point out all the ways that Erika is doing the same things Candace has been doing for years, breaking down all the ways that Erika is being disingenuous. She's like, see, I pointed that out, so I can't be doing that. Overall, this trailer was fascinating. I had to take a break from talking about Erika Kirk for a second because I was like, I'm going to become an Erika Kirk account, but you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. I'm a scholar and historian of evangelicalism, so if you're interested in following my takes and also some of my other content, follow my page.
So Erika Kirk apparently had told one of her ex-boyfriends that she saw their a dead grandparent in her dreams. This was on episode 2 of Bride of Charlie. I will play the clip in a second, but what I'm about to talk about is so niche, guys, that you will only understand it if you are interested in the Bride of Charlie and you're also a Love Island watcher, specifically All Stars. Okay, so the moment I heard this clip,
one morning, he would often, I guess, speak to Erika about how close he was with his grandfather. His grandfather had already passed. He's dating Erika, and she's getting to know him and his life and the things that matter to him. He says that one morning, Erika wakes up and she tells him that his grandfather, who has passed and who he adored, came to her in a dream with a message. And he just thought that was quite odd. I thought that was an interesting story.
My mind automatically went to this.
You mentioned my granddad and stuff like that, and it really threw me off.
Where I was meditating.
No, I know, but
I just
you started to say that you saw my dead granddad.
No, I didn't say I saw your dead granddad.
No, you were saying you saw my granddad and he wishes me well, and I was like, this is just way too much.
No,
I mean, the moment I heard it, guys, that scene popped into my mind of Georgia and Casey. I think it's one of the best scenes to come out of All Stars.
Candace Owens' new series on Erika Kirk. Alyssa, this is my Christmas. It's going to be called Bride of Charlie. Let's just watch it right now.
Erika Kirk has been named the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
My husband's dead. I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead.
It's weird to say excited.
Describes her husband's funeral as the event of the century.
I think the Erika Kirk and Candace Owens situation is really interesting. One of the things I found very surprising was Candace Owens comparing Erika Kirk to Meghan Markle. As someone who has made a lot of content on Meghan Markle and analyzing her behavior, I actually find Erika Kirk to be the least like her. And I think the biggest example of that is how she treats her children. And I'll come back to that at the end. But first I want to talk about Candace Owens casually just floating this idea that Erika was happy that something bad happened to her husband because now she got this opportunity to become the CEO of TPUSA. That this was her plan all along, that it's been this great rise to power that she has plotted out for years. After Charlie Kirk's death, one of the great gifts that we've had are all of these candid videos of behind the scenes Charlie Kirk. When you watch those videos, that's when you get a true glimpse into their marriage. What's interesting is that Erika is behind the camera and she keeps the focus on Charlie. She asks him questions. She asks him how his day is going. She asks him for words of wisdom that he wants to share. There will be certain moments where she pops in and just smiles or says hi, but she goes back to making him the focus. Now, if she truly was a Meghan Markle type character, that would not have happened. Erika would be, like Meghan often does, trying to snatch the spotlight from Charlie and trying to be front and center. I think Erika has always been an ambitious woman. I think she's accomplished a lot in her life, but when she got married, she decided to take a step back from all that and decided that her priority would be Charlie's vision and her family and her children. And you can see that in the way that she plays a very supportive role for him. I think she saw his mission as extremely important and ordained by God, and that her role was to support him no matter what. But now with him gone, I would not be surprised if privately Erika prayed a lot and felt like it was now her duty to step into Charlie's shoes. I don't think she's particularly comfortable as a CEO of TPUSA. I don't think being in the spotlight is something that she's very comfortable with. I think honestly there's a little level of nervousness and fakeness that she has because I don't think she knows how to be her real self in the spotlight. So I think that discomfort that we all get from watching her do regular things that it was so easy for Charlie to do. I think the reason we feel uncomfortable is because she feels uncomfortable. And if you go back into their early interviews, where even when Charlie was interviewing her, when they had just gotten engaged, she just kept saying, she's like, I'm so nervous, guys, I'm so nervous, because this is not her natural state. Being front and center, just talking about your beliefs, things like that, is not her natural state. I think being in the pageant, being dressed up with their hair done, and I think that's how she sort of puts on her battle armor, is makeup, jewelry, an outfit. That's how she feels comfortable on the stage. Whereas Charlie just showed up. Charlie was just himself and was comfortable. Everybody's different. So I think that's where Erika Kirk's discomfort really comes from, is that this is just not what I think she ever intended for herself, but feels compelled to do it because of what happened, the tragedy that happened to her husband. Now, the last point about why she's not like Meghan Markle is just see how she doesn't use her kids. You know, Meghan Markle is parading those children as much as possible for attention. I mean, now every time she has any kind of failure on the various projects that she's engaged with, she parades out photos of these children, using them for attention and intrigue. You never see Erika Kirk do that. And this is intentional. She talks about this during a Q&A that she and Charlie hosted. She says that the nursery is sacred, that it is your job as a parent to keep everybody out of the nursery. It's a sacred space for your children to grow up. So cameras don't belong there. That's why we have no idea what the kids look like. She does not use them for attention. She doesn't use them for sympathy. And you know what? She probably could get away with it. I mean, she's a widow. Those children have lost their father. Erika gets attacked left, right, and center for the most ludicrous things. But she doesn't use those children because those children and their nursery and their childhood is sacred. And she is protecting them from the world.
And the Best Bad Acting Award goes to Erika Kirk. Erika Kirk was at the State of the Union. She was Trump's guest. And here she is crying, just without tears.
Wonderful wife, Erika, is with us tonight. Erika, please stand.
Erika, how is it that when you cry, you don't produce tears? I mean, it must be nice. You don't gotta ruin your makeup, but it is very interesting. She did the signature look up, look sad with no tears actually coming down my face. Honestly, this is just bad acting at this point. I would respect it more if she just didn't act sad. Just be the real Erika, like you are on the TPUSA leaked calls that we heard.
My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead.
Just be you. Don't put on an act, because honestly, not many people are buying it anymore. CNN posted this photo of Erika Kirk. And when I tell you no one's buying it, I mean no one's buying it. The top comment, guys, and the Best Actress Award goes to Erika Kirk. Honestly, I don't even think it's good acting, but I get what they're trying to say. So no confetti cannon for her tonight? Not her crying with Super Bowl rings on. Came for the comment section and relieved to see so many agree that it's all political theater. After seeing Erika's latest performance, I'm just more stoked for Candace Owens, Bride of Charlie. This is gonna be good.
Cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
Dude, we got 36,000 people in here watching. Look at this. Look at my chat. Look at my chat versus Candace Owens's. Nah, slow mode or not, doesn't matter.
Is that this was done?
Dude, come on,
after
my
the fact?
fucking chatters
Maybe
are
someone had
typing
a friend down
in
at
her
the county
chat.
clerk.
Look,
I should also
her entire chat is
could not find
my fucking chatters. Her entire chat is my chatters.
Doesn't exist.
Do you think a 36,000 person
I would like to
live viewership channel would be capable of rating another content creator's live chat when they have 213,000 viewers? It's completely fake. It's just my chat in there. Look at this. Everyone's typing fa.
Privacy, that makes
not a single person is replying to anything Candace Owens is saying. Everyone is spamming fa.
Candace Owens said, if I'm lying, sue me. Why are you not suing, Erika? I really just want to understand. You told her on multiple platforms to stop talking. Not only did she continue, but she made a documentary about you, your beliefs, your character, and your marriage, making a conspiracy that you may also be part of the reason why he was pow pow. And you're not gonna sue? Why?
So if you did not catch the second episode of Candace Owens' series Bride of Charlie about Miss Erika Kirk, I took notes, so I have a recap for you. Ready? All right, let's go. So she started off by talking about Aleister Crowley, which, if you do not know, he is basically the father of Satanism, and how he used to practice Smex magic, and sometimes that would lead to people losing their lives. But he also mentioned that Aleister Crowley was friends with a woman by the name of Pauline Robinson, and they spent some time together, and by the time 8 months later came, Pauline gave birth to Barbara Bush. So there's a chance that Barbara Bush could be the child of the father of Satanism, and that these people partake in all sorts of nefarious satanic activities. We'll just leave that there for now. Then she also went on to mention, and I did find it interesting, that in the many ways that these people tend to take the lives of some, car crashes, houses catching on fire, she finds it interesting that Charlie specifically was assassinated for the world to see. They wanted everybody to see it. If they wanted it done quietly, they would have done quietly, but they did it in such a brutal way to where everybody had to watch it, so that they would have an emotional reaction, and then everybody would naturally turn to his wife, his widow, and provide her with overwhelming support and love and adoration. Unfortunately, what they didn't bank on was her not being able to perform her end of that bargain, because she did a terrible job at it. So I did find that interesting. But then she goes on to introduce a new player. Hold on. She lets us know that Kent Fronsvey, Erika's father, was first married to a woman by the name of Dr. Jerry Fronsvey. Now, Miss Jerry was a psychology expert of children who did social work. Her husband was a top military person. This was prior to, I believe, her marrying Erika's father. And this woman had military ties. She started working for really large companies like the Quaker Oats family, who actually reported, I didn't know the Quaker Oats had a scandal where they were feeding radioactive oats to young boys. I think that's interesting. But they hired her to be some kind of psychologist in marketing. And then she went on to work for the DuPont family, who are French. And she did organizational psychology for them. She at some point was then giving a gender clinic where she did gender studies, and she gave lessons to the military. Why would she be doing that? That's strange. But anyways, this Jerry Fronsvey ended up dealing with charter schools, working with psychological methods for children, and then she ended up dealing with the Tesseract School, the same Tesseract School that Erika attended from the year of 1993 to 1999. Now, Candace wanted us to know this because she says that the character that is Dr. Jerry Fronsvey is very interesting in this story, and this is another historical episode where she is painting a picture, and she is building the framework for tomorrow's episode, which is going to be Erika's life, her time in pageantry, her time over in Europe. But back to Dr. Jerry Fronsvey. So she was dealing with the Tesseract School where Erika went to school. Now, mind you, this was the woman that Erika's father was married to prior to him meeting Erika's mother. So now the woman, your father's ex-wife, is now working at the same school that you are at. Now, there is no proof that she necessarily knew her, but it is just interesting that this woman who has all these ties with psychological experiments and things with children, which Candace keeps taking us back to Sigmund Freud, and how many of these psychologists have ties to dealing with and abusing children, and why a lot of psychology, the start of psychology, had to do with the abuse of children and what it was they were doing to kids, which I also want to look in more myself. Remember that, because that's going to matter in a second when we find out who Dr. Jerry Fronsvey brought in to work alongside her. Now, this particular Tesseract School was backed by the Bushes and the Waltons of Walmart. And then also a man named Phil Bliss, who joins the board, who was also involved in Stanford. He was a drug counselor. Allegedly, he was also involved with MK Ultra. He actually created a high school, became the principal of that school. There was a school shooting that took place there, and that student just so happened to be working with him specifically in dealing with depression. So it's like all of these people have to do with child psychology, dealing with children, and weird things that is going on with children. Also, the head of the school and their VP, also child psychology. She's also, again, painting a picture. And now that I'm thinking about the picture that she's painting when it comes to Erika and some of the things that it seems like she forgets, like she's not all the way there upstairs, it's starting to seem like Candace believes that there is a chance that Erika, as a child, considering this Tesseract school that Candace keeps talking about, whether or not some experiments were done on Erika and a lot of these other children, because the family that Candace got the yearbook from, all the yearbook photos, the family that Candace got the yearbooks from, they said that their child said that he was abused by more than one person at this school. Now, what is also interesting is that Jerry Franzfey, I can't stand that last name, was good friends with John Money. I learned who John Money was today. John Money is the father of gender ideology and transgenderism, and he came up with this by abusing 2 child boys, by convincing his parents that he could raise them as girls, mutilated one of that boy's private parts in a botched circumcision. He told the world that he succeeded. When it came out, he actually did not. One of those boys ended up himself at some point. So when you start to consider all the characters that are involved here, I don't know, it's getting a little interesting. And please be sure, go watch her whole thing, because I'm just kind of giving you guys the bullet points in case you missed it and you kind of just want a little bit of the information. I took some notes for y'all. Now, once she kind of paints that picture, she puts a pin in it, because she said all of this is going to matter even more so as we continue through the series. She then moves to Erika's mother, Miss Lori, who, from all the exes and the people that Candace has talked to, who is a part of Erika's life, they always said that Lori is very problematic and she is the one who pulls Erika's strings, and the fact that she is the reason why Erika was such a climber and wanting to get to the top, because it has been said more than once, Erika absolutely wanted to be famous. She wanted to be famous, and her mother also wanted her to be famous. So she kind of got controlled or told Erika who she needs to be talking to, who she needs to be involved with, all those different things. So she then goes on to start speaking about Erika's relationship with Tyler Boyer, which for whatever reason, nobody will answer the question. She said when she talked to Erika personally, Erika would not tell her how she knows Tyler Boyer. Interesting enough, Tyler Boyer was the one who introduced Erika and Charlie in the first place. And interesting enough, also, Tyler Boyer and Erika just so happened to be in Romania at the same time, and we all know what's been said about what she was doing in Romania, which I believe that is also going to come out soon. Candace also mentioned that rumor has it that $10 million went missing in Turning Point Action, which is a part of Turning Point. Turning Point Action was also led by Tyler Boyer. And Tyler Boyer and Lori, Erika's mother, have a relationship. They have some type of relationship, and then Erika's mother also ended up being on a board of Turning Point Action. So something strange is going on. Something strange is going on there. Interesting. And then she wraps everything up by showing a video of Erika saying that she never really wanted to be a part of pageants. It was just kind of a thing. She got something in the mail that said invited her because somebody nominated her to be in the Miss Arizona pageant, but she really wanted to play basketball, but she had never really did pageants. Candace came out and said that actually was not true. She had been in pageants, and she's also going to be breaking all of that down tomorrow. She's pointing out very little lies and showing us how dishonest Erika tends to be, and then she's going to provide us with further proof tomorrow. She kind of then wraps it up by reading some comments and saying that the people who were pressuring Charlie, she just finds it really odd that those are the same people that Erika then put up to the front, like your Tyler Boyer. I like how she said that the elites can purchase anything, but they cannot purchase truth. Truth is the one thing that we have over these people. But I just think it's interesting, and I think there's an interesting picture being painted, and it would explain a lot of Erika's strange behaviors. I know Candace mentioned yesterday that sometimes it's almost like Erika can't remember certain things when she's asked. And if what we're seeing is true as far as a lot of these child psychologists and experiments and things being done at this Tesseract school, and the fact that Erika was there, and apparently there are some missing gaps in Erika's life where she kind of just disappears, something is happening here. But again, this was one of those foundational episodes where she's just giving us information, telling us who the key players are, and painting a picture before she gives us everything else. So that's like the bullet points. I tried to give you as much as I could in the time that I had, but go watch, because of course she's always going to deliver it far better than I did. But if you wanted a recap, that's the recap. I will see y'all tomorrow.
Hey Erika, it's me, your new self-imposed PR person. Listen, I just finished episode 2 of The Bride of Charlie, and the good news is that it's really not that bad. Candace basically reads your grandmother's resume for 30 straight minutes, and somehow Barbara Bush catches a stray, but it's nothing we need to handle at the moment. The bad news is that Candace has somehow gotten her hands on your elementary school yearbook, and she shared this really cute picture of you with a Dorothy Hamill haircut. The long hair now makes a lot more sense when you consider all things. Also, the bad news is Candace is trying to paint you out to be this clout chaser, cleat chaser, fame chaser type of woman. So we're just going to tell everybody that you're very ambitious and you are attracted to ambitious men. And as Miss Arizona, you are all the time going to baseball games and whatnot. So nothing we can't handle there. Now, do not address the media. Under no circumstances do I want you in front of the camera until we get the balayage taken care of and Andrew Colvett far, far away from you, okay? I'll talk to you tomorrow.
We have proof coming out that Erika Kirk is allegedly a man. This video is recirculating and going viral of Erika Kirk. I want you to take a look at this and see exactly what she says.
Regis University women's basketball team. I have played basketball since I was 5. Super tomboy. Didn't like dresses. Everyone thought I was a little boy because I wore Jordan and all these different types of athletic clothes, and I was just a baller completely. My mom hated combing my hair because it was so knotty and my hair is super long and I didn't want it combed, and so we ended up cutting it like Bam Bam, just like straight across, full haircut. Even when we went to the grocery store, the people would be like, "Hey Sonny, you gotta take those groceries out for your mom," and I was like, yes.
Now, based off of this and a lot of photo analysis people are doing, a lot of people think that this is Erika Kirk signaling she's actually a man. We know a lot of times in those elite and Hollywood circles, they love to do different types of gender swapping. Or is it possible people are just taking this completely out of context and that she really was just a tomboy? What do you guys think?
Erika Kirk has a demon tattoo symbol on her arm.
Finally, Candace is talking about Erika Kirk in Romania. Oh my gosh. And there's something going on between her and Andrew Colvett. I know it. I saw it early on. I would bet $5 that they're more than just friends. Poor Cabbage can kick rocks.
Cheating man will always accuse the woman of being a cheater. A liar? Well, he'll always accuse somebody of lying to him. A thief? He'll always accuse somebody of stealing from him. People will tell you who they are all day long. Sit back. Let them show you. And they will. Isn't it funny how today, out of nowhere, so many, and I mean so many people, a lot of even large creators are now collectively calling Candace Owens a demon? A demon. Right on the cusp of her release of her expose, The Bride of Charlie, about Erika Kirk. In fact, some are going as far to say that if you watch Candace Owens, then you are a demon too. In fact, it's the only word that all of these people are using collectively, attacking Candace. What do you suppose the odds of that really are? Every single person that's come out against Candace today, all claiming she's a demon? What a very odd choice of words to use. A cheating man will always accuse the other person of cheating, and a thief will always accuse the other person of stealing from them. A liar will always accuse the other person of lying. Isn't it funny how people have a tendency? No, they absolutely have a way of doing that. And they all chose to call Candace a demon. Interesting.
Gas in the tank. I promise you that. We'll go all year. We'll just be like, this is a never-ending series. This is a song that never ends. It just goes on and on. My friend, where my 90s kids at? Where my 90s kids at? That's us. We know what that is. We know what that's about. If you don't know what that's about, I'm sorry you weren't a 90s kid. You're on the outside of that one.
I don't know about your 90s kids, but us elder millennials and Gen Xers, we see through the BS. Peak earners around Charlie Kirk's unaliving. This is a substantial amount of money, Candace. I see why you have so much energy to keep going. How you have just talked about this incessantly since September, yet you haven't gotten anywhere. But I see why you'd be motivated. You have all sorts of energy to get right on camera and keep going. Don't worry, girl. We see you. We see you. We see exactly what this is. I just hope someday soon that everybody else does too. Let me know what you guys think of this whole situation.
We usually did before tours. We said our prayer, and we asked the Lord to protect us, and we asked the Lord that His will be done. That's what we did.
The reason why you don't like Erika Kirk, or when you look at her, you go, something's not quite right here, is because Erika Kirk has sociopathic tendencies. And I can't diagnose her as a sociopath. I'm not a mental health professional. I'm actually just an accountant. But my father's a sociopath. Like, diagnosed sociopath. This isn't one of those situations where it's like my father was mean to me for a few times, and now he's a sociopath. No, my father's a diagnosed sociopath with the upbringing and the pattern of behavior to prove it. And sociopathy is kind of like corn. You know it when you see it. You can't exactly point out why, but you know it when you see it. And it's the reason why she's not reacting in the way that we view as normal or acceptable when something is awful, as what happened to her and her family and Charlie Kirk and all of that. That's why she's not reacting how you or I would deem acceptable or a normal reaction, right? That's why she's not doing it. It's because she's not really capable of it. She's trying to mimic it, but she can't do it fully because she doesn't have those emotions like you or I. I can't say whether she loved Charlie or not. I can't say whether she's capable of love. I can't say if she had anything to do with it. All I can tell you is I've noticed patterns in her that line up with sociopathy.
You know what's wild? Half the people excited to watch this Erika Kirk documentary have not stopped to pray for her. They have not stopped to pray for discernment. They have not stopped to ask God, what does He think? What is He saying in this hour? Rather, they would rather watch a series that resembles something like a Real Housewives show than actually sit down, read their Bible, and see what He says about widows. You guys don't want to talk about that. Instead, you guys would rather pick apart the way that she decides to grieve, what she says publicly, not what happens in private. You're not around for. You have no idea what it's like to be her. You have no idea what it's like to be in her shoes. None of us do. So how can you judge something when your own life is a hot mess? When you're out here gossiping, talking about folks, dragging their names through the mud, and wondering why your life is in shambles because you keep putting your mouth on everybody. God's not going to bless a mess. If you are still listening to Candace Owens, then that's how I know you have zero discernment. That's how I know that your prayer life sucks, that you barely talk to the Lord, and you are just here for the next buzzword, the next headline, and the next adrenaline rush. Thank you. Next.
Candace Owens has went off the deep end, and the things that she is accusing Erika Kirk of are absolutely disgusting. She has no proof to back any of this up, always promising big bombshells, but never delivering one receipt. Yet people enjoy drama and gossip so much that they hang on to every word, never demanding proof, never asking for evidence. There is no telling how much money Candace has made off of talking trash on Erika Kirk. I guess the bills must be paid some way, so now she started an entire series on Erika. I know we've all seen the scary movie, The Bride of Chucky. Candace is calling her series The Bride of Charlie. With friends like Candace, who needs enemies? She is trying her best to destroy Charlie Kirk's legacy. She doesn't care that it's harming his family. She doesn't care that his children will be affected. I mean, to hell with them kids. Her pockets are getting fatter. The ads are rolling in. People are buying her bullshit, hook, line, and sinker. When do you ask Candace for proof? When will you ask for evidence? Erika Kirk should get her a lawyer, and she should sue her for every dollar she has made on the names Charlie and Erika Kirk. Candace Owens started changing once she realized that she would not have a spot in President Trump's cabinet. Once she realized that there was no spot for her there, she started trashing the Trump administration. Overnight, Candace did a complete 180. And that is fine. Everyone has a right to change their mind. But out of jealousy, trying to destroy the legacy that your so-called friend built after his passing, that's disgusting. I hope you guys all have a wonderful Thursday. God bless you.
I received an email from Erika Kirk's aunt. Her name is Carla Franzvi Solomon, and she emailed me on my personal email account asking me specifically about ancestry and how I knew that Carl Kenneth Franzvi might have been in the Manhattan Project or a part of the Manhattan Project. So I'll include the email that I got, and I'll answer the question here, but I have a stalker, and the only way the stalker can get in touch with me is my email address. So I kind of can't help but wonder if it's actually that person, hoping that I'll attach some photos with my location data. I don't know. Anyway, Carl Kenneth Franzwe's draft card said that he was working for American Banknote in Chicago, which was the bank that was funding the Manhattan Project. The very first explosion for the Manhattan Project occurred in Chicago while Carl Franzwe was enlisted. And if you zoom in on his medals and research each individual medal, you can see that he had to have accomplished certain tasks in both the Philippines in World War II and in the Korean War to get all those medals. So I'm using the powers of deduction, but there's enough evidence there. He would have studied under Leslie Groves, who ran the entire Manhattan Project. The only base where Carl Kenneth Franzwe could have learned how to dismantle the bombs he dismantled in the Philippines as I want to say like a corporal or something. He had a really high title, was if he was trained in Virginia by Leslie Groves. And I mentioned Leslie Groves' son was the exact same age as Carl Kenneth, and he was in the military and stationed there as well. So these are just theories. The supposed email.
Another creator got banned on this app for posting about this, and fuck it, I've gotten banned so many times on here too. So let's just talk about shit that's gonna get you banned because it seems to be the truth. At least that's what I found from my experience. The vid, all of it, they all banned that shit. I mean, it's so fucking funny. But yeah, if y'all needed proof, like, yeah, they dated couples that paint together. And honestly, they can get away with it because what are we gonna do? Nobody's doing shit unless we all decide, hey, enough is enough. What the fuck? So go ahead and share this because I think this is fucking crazy. I mean, how much more obvious can it get?
They want to see if I have autism. You don't. Let's go tell them you don't. I might have a type of autism called Asperger's syndrome. You don't.
Did y'all hear Charlie took Erika out of the will and she didn't realize it till just now? So come to find out, he had hired a private investigator to follow her around. And I guess he realized who she was and what she was doing. Now, I also heard that she was listed in the files and she was throwing that ass in a circle, if you get what I'm saying. But what gets me, y'all, is whenever she found out that he had taken her out of the will and everything was going to the babies, she tried to hit him with the, it ain't even his kids anyways. They're not his kids. So now you just admitted openly infidelity. And then apparently she's pregnant again by somebody. And she made the comment, I cannot believe we were able to pull off the event of the century. What, your husband's unaliving? Let me just ask you, could you imagine having your husband unalived, the father of your children, well, you thought the father of the children, thinking you was about to be set for life and you didn't get a damn thing? But my question is, so does that mean now, I mean, if DNA and they're not his kids, would it go to her because she was his wife, or would it go to his immediate family? Y'all, this thing gets deeper and deeper by the day. Drop your thoughts and comments below. Let me know what you think.
Erika Kirk was written out of Charlie Kirk's will days before he lost his final debate about pew pew reform. That's right. He had hired a private investigator who had gotten evidence that she was sweating the sheets with another individual. Whether or not it was the couch humper, we don't know. But what we do know is that the will was revised. She was removed from it, and that all of his assets were bequeathed to his children. Who the executor is, we don't know, but the children are going to inherit all of Kirk's assets, property, stocks, all of it, and Erika will be left with nothing. Now, this is shocking, but not completely shocking. Like, you kind of knew that there was something up, but didn't know quite because her tears were so fake, but apparently the allegations of infidelity were real, so much so that he removed her from the will. And her response to all of this is, well, they're my kids. I need to provide for them. Well, I guess perhaps maybe you shouldn't have sweated the sheets up, or perhaps maybe you shouldn't have been complicit in possibly helping your husband be unalive. Perhaps maybe that's why he was being unalive, because he was going going to file divorce papers on her.
Candace Owens is not back today, but she unleashed this savage preview of what's to come on this Wednesday. You guys. Of course, at first she pays tribute to Charlie, and it's really sad. She shows us Erika wiping away her tears, and then bam, it goes into the memorial with the fireworks. The sparkly suit, spectacular. It shows Erika throwing merch into the audience. Audio of Erika was saying 50,000 plus hat orders to fulfill, and talking about how much money they made off the merch. Shows the prop tent where Charlie was taken, and at the same time, she's endorsing Vans for 2028. How her operation was in Constanta, Romania, the epicenter of Romania's trafficking scandal. I mean, I'm talking about savage. Candace went savage. Going max is an understatement. The very weird conversations she had with a 15-year-old, showing the inappropriate text messages. The $8.6 million to their own shell company. And then the way the preview ends, oh my God.
My aunt used to tell me never do something that you don't want on the front page of a newspaper.
So it's happening. And did you guys notice the title, Bride of Charlie? Oh my gosh.
Please be a leader worth following. Your wife is not your servant. Your wife is not your employee. Your wife is not your slave. She is your helper. You are not rivals. You are one flesh working together for the glory of God.
I think Candace Owens and Erika Kirk either gotta settle it in court or a twerk off at this point. And if it's the latter, then the name of the event should be Twerk for Kirk. Fucking genius. If you stream that, it's gotta be at least 500k viewers. Okay, jokes aside though, a lot of you guys have been asking for my opinion on the recent slam dunk that Candace Owens has dropped on Erika Kirk. And I'm not gonna lie, Candace did come swinging. Especially with that part where she basically said, sue me if I'm capping. If I'm wrong, then what I'm saying is defamation, then take me to court about it. Honestly, that statement from her gave her words more credence than anything else she said or showed in that video. And thank God, because Candace also said a whole lot of nothing in that video as well. There are absolutely some conspiracy theories I buy into. The way I see it, some of them gotta be true. And I absolutely believe that there are elite people who probe for like gifted kids and students and take them to special academies to develop their talents. But if you want to tell me it's like the fucking X-Men or something, and it's like Charles Xavier's Academy for Gifted Students, and that people can have visions and that they can astral project and shit, I'm sorry, Candace, you gotta show me a video of Charlie's eyes lighting up and him levitating into the air, astral projecting himself before I believe that shit. As for Erika Kirk, she's been moving like a supervillain as is, so I am kind of interested to see her response if there is one. Only time can tell us for sure how this will all end up going.
Incredibly interesting wrinkle. Which brings us to a point where we should introduce you to the family tree so you can just kind of see what's going on here, because this far scandal troubles me deeply. Is Erika lying? Is she mistaking? Is she making a mistake at all? Or is she accidentally actually